Hi guys, we're going to start with this drawing here. I'm going to show you two methods of being able to use your systematic extrude. You can either draw this and then you use single extrude, or you use work plane, or you can draw this, which will take much longer, and you can use double extrude. However, the best method is to start this one by doing single extrude. Both methods will work, but in some cases double extrude won't work for one method and single extrude will work. Whichever method you use, make sure it's the fastest one. That's why you need to train yourself in this. I've already drawn up the shape. So that there is a solid rectangle that I've drawn, because once you extrude and you put material back and you take material and you're opening up holes and gaps, you need to be able to draw all your hidden detail as solid lines. So I'm going to extrude this part first, this whole section, this whole rectangle. I'm first going to go for this whole rectangle. The distance for it is 114, and then I need to get the gap in between there, which is 114 minus 12 and minus 12, which will be material that I put back. Okay, so let's go and do that quickly. I'm going to press E for extrude. 1 and 2. Let's get a better view, and that's the distance, and I'm saying okay. I know I'm looking for a gap there, a U. It needs to be in the form of a U shape. So I'm going to go and share my sketch, right click. It went to drawn the sketch there, but I'm looking for share sketch here. Let's say escape, right click, share sketch, E for extrude. I'm clicking on the bottom because the top part needs to go right through. So the bottom part will go in their direction 114, but I need to come back by 12 to get a one leg. So I'm just going to type in minus 12 in here, minus 12, and it will put back my leg there. Okay, E for extrude one more time, clicking on there, going in that direction. I need this time only 12, and that will put my leg in there. Okay, now that's what we have so far. Going back to our drawing, you can see that shape was extruded 3 times. The first time we went from there to there and it gave us a solid block of 114. The second time I only extruded this rectangle there because I needed this gap here. Okay, and I can see I'm looking for a leg of 12 and a leg of 12 there. So I went out by 114. I needed to come back by 12. So 114 minus 12 will give you a piece of leg there, and it will cut out that whole piece there. Then you press E for extrude again, and it will put this piece back here. And that's what we've done. We're going to do the very same with this. You can see these side flaps there, these side wings there. If we go straight across, we can see that the width is 12 millimeters and 12 millimeters. There's 2 of them at the same height. The distance from there to there is the same distance from there to there. They normally match up these distances to be able to see the thickness. So you look at the heights, and then you'll see the thickness. So the height from there to there and the height from there to there is absolutely the same, but the thickness is the same. So what I normally do, I don't mention that. I just go straight across, and you can see that is the object sticking out there. These cylinders going straight across, we've got 1 and we've got 2. Okay, but let's first focus on these 2 side wings. Okay, it's 12 millimeters each and a gap in the center. So if I'm going to click on extrude here, and I'm going to select the side wings, I'm going to extrude all the way from this distance to there, which will be 108 minus 20, and from this side it's 10. So it's 108 minus 20 minus 10, that is 78. So let's extrude that. E for extrude, going in that direction, and we're having 78. Okay, if I extrude again, I need to take material back now, clicking on the very same shape, going out in that direction. I need 12 millimeters to be left, so I'm going to say minus 12, and there's my leg. Okay, again, If I extrude again, so I need to put my 12 back for the front leg. 12 and in that direction and OK. I'm going to put in the rib in the middle. I'm going to go look at my drawing. This rib is actually cut there and cut there, but I'm going to put it in as a full extrusion from this point to that point. So it's 114, that's where it stops, and that's where it stops, plus 20. So it's 20 plus 114, and I'm going to put it in as a solid rectangle. I will go draw on it on the side afterwards. If I extrude, selecting my rectangle, I first need to go in that direction of 114. Okay, and then I'm coming frontwards. If I extrude, it needs to come frontward 20 millimeters. And okay, I will draw on that later on the side. Then I am having this section here on top. I've got two cylinders. I need to, let's look at our drawing first. We need to extrude in that direction, which is 108 minus 20, as you can see, because we're on this line here. That's where we're extruding from. So we're going in that direction. It's 108 coming back by 20, and it will give us that distance. So it's going to be a solid cylinder, and then I'm going to put 20 back. If we extrude, I'm clicking on the shape there and on the inside shape, going in that direction, and I'm going to say 108 minus 20. Sorry guys, let's just look at this again. We're going out here, we're extruding from here. It's 108. We are already extruding from this point. We don't need to include 108 minus 20. We're working from this point. So we need to go out in that direction. Yeah, that's fine. Now it's 108 minus 20. Sorry about that. I also get confused as well. So that's fine. There we have it. And that's our cylinder. And I'm going to say if we extrude. And I'm going to try to get that gap now. First of all, I'm going in that direction, and I need to come back by calculation by 32 millimeters. Right. So it will be that small distance there minus 32. That small, the distance from there to there is 88. If you take away 20 from 108, so the distance is 88 minus 32. So let's go and do that. 88 minus 32, and we have that first part, and then there's the second one. If we extrude, I need to go in that direction, and now I need to find out how much do I have to extrude. Okay, we're only putting back that small part. It's 38 minus 20. We'll extrude that part in afterwards. So we're gonna go 38 minus 20, and that's that part there. And if we extrude again to get it to the front, and the front part will be about 20 millimeters, as we've seen. That is what we're having so far. Okay, looks good. We can now go and work on these parts on the inside, where you can go and sketch and be able to get your parts shaped down. So we need a hole in there 6 millimeters deep by 25. We also need this one there on the other side, 6 millimeters deep by 25. Let's do those first. We're going to create a new sketch. I'm going to go click on sketch, 2D sketch, and I want to click on that face there. Right, and I'm going to draw a circle. Need to get a center. And dimension 25 millimeters. 25. Enter. Let's constrain that down. Coincident. I want that part. Okay, we cannot find any point to log it onto there. Right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to make it concentric with the other circle. So we're going to go to say concentric, clicking on that circle, and that one will take you to the center. So if we extrude, and we're going back by 6 millimeters, and because it's showing red already, we don't need to click cut, and it will cut by itself. And that's the hole there in front. Let's turn to the other side. Press escape to go out of your functions. Click on sketch again. 2D sketch. Click on the face. And then draw another circle of 25 millimeters. Dimension it as 25. And there you have your 25 millimeter circle. And we're going to make that concentric as well. Concentric. This circle and that circle needs to be concentric. If we extrude, we're going to the other direction. That's why it's showing red already. It goes automatically to cut, and you click OK. That's done there. No problems. It's done. Right, to be able to solve this here, we're going to sketch on this and say, right, escape out of all functions again. Click on sketch and click on there. And now we are going to draw our line from this corner upwards to there. Okay, escape, enter. We can also draw our line from there to that corner there. Yes. And then we also have a rectangular shape which starts somewhere from there to there. Okay. And then you put in the dimensions for that rectangular shape from there to the bottom, which is 38. And that gives you the height as well. And this distance needs to be 6 millimeters because we have a radius of 6. Okay, instead of going there, we need to put in that distance there. Okay, before I alter it, I'm just going to look at the sketch to be able to get a distance from that point to there. We will be having 108 minus 38 minus 32 will give us that distance, plus 6 plus 6. So that will give you 70. 70 minus that is 38. 38 plus 6 is 42. It's 48. So the width of this piece here is 48. Okay, now let's go and put in some fillets. Okay, I'll put in the fillets afterwards. Okay, let's say if we extrude and we're going to click on these geometries. I'm looking for that part there, but it doesn't want to. Okay, let's go to the other side and cut through there and say okay. Okay, and let's go and alter these sketches because it needs to be closed before it will cut. In the previous inventors, it cut automatically, but now you need to close up these shapes. Escape, enter. If we extrude, Okay, no, we have to finish, right click, finish the sketch. And now we can share the sketch and extrude. Share sketch, E for extrude, 1 and 2, let's cut and say okay. Okay, that's what we have. You can put in your fillets afterwards that you want to put in of 6 millimeters. And as you go along, you can do that. Okay, that's the wrong place, but anyway, I know there's a little bit of a glitch there. But anyway, that's how you do the drawing. Okay. That is how you do your drawing. Okay, that's by adding material and putting back material. That's how you solve this problem. Okay, this hole also needs to be filled up. It's also very easy. You can sketch there and just extrude it close. You go click, sketch on there, escape, click on there and then sketch. New sketch on there. Okay. E for extrude. We just close that hole there first and put a circle over it. Okay, and then I'm going to make it concentric. Okay, and I'm going to make it equal so that it can be on top of one another. And if I press E for extrude, I can click on the hole and I can fill up the hole, which is 12. And then the hole is filled up. Because we can see on the drawing, we only have one hole going through there and two holes overlapping there, more or less. And that is our drawing, ladies and gentlemen. We save this and press save. Okay, and that's it. Now let's go look at the work plane method. I'm going to undo all the way. Let's see if we can get undo all the way. If we can't, we can right click and just delete. Right click, delete. Or I need a sketch to be able to work with delete. 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 Yes. Try to keep in control. Maybe I can delete all of these at once. Delete. Good. Okay, now we are once again left with the sketch. Now what's going to happen here is that we will only be able to do the front part more or less, and then we're going to need to do the work plane. Okay. Let's say, for instance, let's leave the sketch. Let's rather leave this one and start with another one. Sketch XY, and there's my rectangle 1, and then I have another rectangle 2, and I'm going to dimension these 114, 114. Okay, this one will be 114 minus 12 for both legs. I'm going to coincident these lines here, center point to center point for that rectangle, and then we will put in the heights for these rectangles. The height here is 64. As you can see at this point, we've got a height of 64. So we're typing in 64. Enter. And our height here will be 64 minus 12. 64 minus 12, enter. And I'm going to trim now the bottom part. If it doesn't want to trim, just click on it and press delete. E for extrude. Since I've drawn the side, since I've drawn that side, my extrusion distance is straight across, which is 100. The length there is 100. So I'm going to type it in here. And that's what we have. Now, this is step by step working. Now I can go and click on sketch again. I want you guys to look at this. And I click on that face there. And that face suddenly looks like this part there. I can either carry on sketching there, but I can see it's not appropriate because we're having an inclined surface there. It shows you, right? It looks flat there, but if you go straight across, it's inclined. So we need to start from this side here, and then I'm going to draw all these in front. So I'm going to rotate this, and I'm going to right click and finish that sketch. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to right click on this part here and delete the sketch. I don't need that sketch. I'm busy with sketch number 1. Okay. Let's go sketch, and I'm clicking on the front. Let's go and draw this here. Okay, the height is 102, and then we've got 3 diameters, 38, 20, and 25. Going to start with a rectangle to be able to get the top part there. Make sure you're on the line. Here we have that part. And then I'm going to put my circles in the center here. There's 3 of them. One, 2, and 3. All of them concentric. Let's get this in the center. Coincident. There it's in the center. The width there is 6 millimeters. We've got a 6 there. Enter. And now we can put in the size for these circles. We've got 38. We also got 25. And we've got 20. To 0. Enter. That's what we have so far, and now I'm going to put in the distance. The distance from this line to the center point there is 102. And I also know that I am having from that point I just need to make sure if that point is connected there, because I haven't seen any connection. Looks like it. Okay. And I'm going to tangent these. Escape and enter to be able to get my sketch again. Right, and I'm going to go out to my tangent. 1, 2, 1, 2. And I can go trim. We also need to trim these so that we can extrude properly. And that's what we have. Oh, now we can go for our second extrude. The second extrude is these flaps. Right? I'm going to extrude the flap there. And then I'm going to extrude another time, which is this small piece there. And then a third time, which is that small piece there. And then I'm going to create a work plane here to be able to extrude all that in there. And then finally, this will also need to be extruded as a solid rectangle and then cut out eventually. So watch this. We got 12. Okay. Let's go share the sketch. Okay, see it is sketch on there automatically. Escape, right click, finish sketch. For some reason something is just escape again. Share sketch. Right. Now I'm going to do the cylinder. E for extrude. This is our front cylinder, and our front cylinder is a distance of 18 in that direction and 20 backwards. So E for extrude. We've got it. Let's go do that cylinder there. That's the wrong one. Keep in control. Keep your control in and deselect that. Okay, there we go. We've got that part there. It's going frontwards. We need to go 20 forward. So 20 and OK. E for extrude again. We've got 1 and 2. But we're going to the other direction and it's 18. And we say OK. Now what's going to happen is we're done. And we now need to go create a work plane, guys. You go to any flat surface where you want to create a work plane from. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to click on this surface and keep our left click button in. Right? It's a line, but we know it's a surface right in front, around the corner. And then we're going to position this work plane up till there. Right. So the distance from this point to there will be how much? Let's see. Okay. We've got 10 millimeters plus 12. Right? And then we have 18 millimeters. So that gives you a total of 40 millimeters. From here, from here to there, we have 10 millimeters plus 12. Let's first get this distance from there to that point. 108 minus 20 is 88. So we've got 88 from there to there. Coming back by 10, we've got 78. Coming back by 12, we've got 66. So the distance from there to there is 66. So let's go in and put it in. I'm going to keep my cursor on there. You can see the surface is turning green, and I'm going to keep in my left click button. Here it comes. Keeping it in will help you to create a work face. Okay, sorry, you click on work plane, and there we go. Click on work plane and keep your button in there. It will give you a distance. Again, left click on work plane and click plane. Now keep your button in on that face, and then you'll get the distance. So the distance is 66. It's going this way, so we're going to put a negative in front to go the other way. And I'm going to say yes, I'm happy. Now I'm going to sketch on there. Sketch on that work plane. We already have geometry here. Here's the geometry. I'm not going to redraw it on that work plane. So there's something that we need to do called project geometry. Right? So if we're going to, let's just go look for the symbol for project geometry. It's somewhere here. Modify. Project geometry. There we have it. Okay. We want the geometry tree to be projected onto the plane, the first one. So I'm going to click on all this geometry and it will go to the back. All of it will just appear to the back, right? And there we have it. Even those lines there, all of them are at the back. Now I can extrude straight away. Right click finish, and I'm going to press E for extrude and click on my first wing, second wing, and let's first go see does it need to come forward or go backward. Okay, so let's look at it. We went from this point to that point, so it needs to be extruded to the back side. So moving it to that side, which is 12 millimeters, and we say okay. Let's go look at the cylinder. The cylinder needs to go out by we're now sitting here at this point here that we're working from. The distance from there to there is 22 and it's 10 this way, so it's 2 extrusions, 22 that way and 10 this way. E for extrude. Let's first go share the sketch. I think yes. Share sketch. E for extrude. The cylinder needs to come 10 millimeter this way. We need before we go further, let's say just double click on the sketch first again. It needs to be another circle that I haven't selected. Project geometry, let's see. Here's a small circle where, that's the one. Thank you very much. Right click, finish, E for extrude, and we're having one, and then that small part there, and it's 10 millimeters. Okay, E for extrude again, back part, and then we're going to select that small circle. We're going to go in the opposite direction, and that is 22 millimeters. Okay, at this point, I think I should stop, because the only thing that is left is the part there. Okay, you're going to need to do the same like I've done with the first drawing to be able to sketch on there and go in there 6 deep and on the other side. And then you're going to, let's look at the sketch here, the first one, the sketch where we can extrude from. Okay, you can see it's highlighting there, so you can right click on that sketch. Let's say E for extrude, and I'm going to click on that little shape there. There's the shape. Can you guys see that? Okay, and I'm going to come forward right up till there. I don't know the distance. I'm not going to calculate. So what do? You click on this little button here, say 2. You don't know the distance from there to there. You can calculate it, but it's easier to say 2. So you click on 2. And you're going to keep it on that face there. You want it to up till there and say, okay, it will stop there. Right. You can also go to multiple extrusion, but it's better to do it again. Okay, E. Okay, and E for extrude again. I'm going to click on that little face there. And I'm going to turn my drawing. And I'm going to say, I want this thing to extrude to that face there. Okay. Now remember, you can also type in an angle and your extrusion will become angular, right? But you don't want that. You stay on 0. Okay, and then on the side of this drawing, you will now sketch your rest where you can get your final shape.